What's up and welcome to the channel. My name is Headshot and thank you guys for joining us. Today we're going to do another 3 guns on the range review, and where we take 3 similar guns, shoot them on the range, and tell you what we like and what we don't like, just as far as a range gun, right here and right now, unedited and ready to go. Alright, so today we got the Glock 19 Gen 5, CZ P10C, and the Sig P320 RX. And on the RX, we're going to look straight through the optic and just use the iron sights, because I don't want anybody to say that, you know, hey, it's unfair or whatever. I kept the optic on there because it comes on the gun and I didn't want to take it off. But just know that we're just using irons today, okay? Let's check out the guns and then we're going to load them up. What we're going to do to start out is we're going to do a grouping of 5, and then the next set of shots, we're just going to do some random shooting transitions on our shoot steel plate rack down there, okay? So let's go ahead and get started. We'll start with the CZ P10C. Alright, 5 shots, grouping, however this may go, it's gonna go. Alright, let's try it out. Alright, it's hot, 95 degrees today, sweating like crazy, so there's my excuses right there. This one I'm gonna just shoot at the middle plate right in front of me. That was a little bit fast for doing grouping anyways. Let me try to slow it down with the Glock. I'm gonna move to the one right to the left of that. Alright, real quick, that group is definitely better than the CZ, but it's just pushed over to the right. One thing I noticed with this gun, obviously this has the standard Glock sights, which you guys know I don't like. But one thing I noticed with this gun is how short the reset is, and it really surprised me. We're going to get to the Sig here in a minute, but that reset really surprised me how short it actually is. Check this out. Pull it right there, and I kind of let it out a little bit more to ensure it was a reset, and I was like, oh, okay, it's been a while since we shot this gun. Reset is really good. The sights are really flat, so what I mean by that is they're kind of like the Taurus, where they don't come up very high up off of the gun. They sit really low to the slide. I don't know that it makes that much of a difference, but my shots were more in the center with this one, but the group was better with the Glock. It was just pushed over to the right of the plate. Let's try the Sig. Again, we're just going to be using the iron sights, okay? I'm not looking at the optic or the red dot. You'll just have to take my word for it. I can't really prove that, but I'm going to go right to the right over here with this one. Took my time a little bit more. Group's decent, I guess. Now I say I'm not looking at the optic, but it is truly co-witness with these sights, so it's really kind of hard not to look at that. But again, whether you have an optic on there or not, that doesn't mean you're automatically going to be a better shooter, okay? So as far as the grouping, Miss Headshot is going to give it a shot, but as far as the grouping, the tightness of the group goes to the Glock. And probably as far as like center mass type of shots, if we were to judge off of that, I'd give it to the Sig. But this one is very natural. This one very natural to shoot. Those sights line up nice. They sit up a little bit higher than the other two, obviously, to co-witness with the optic, but the trigger itself is really nice. The reset's right there. It's got more of a hook to it. And as far as felt recoil, maybe a little bit more. You know, there is a higher bore axis on this one, which I know people like to make a big deal of. it will cause a little bit more recoil, a little bit more felt recoil, a little bit more muzzle rise, I should say, because the felt recoil doesn't really affect that at all. But as far as a little bit more muzzle rise, I could definitely see that when you shoot these guns side by side with something like this. Okay, you can see how much higher the Sig is in my hand than the CZ there. And then if I do it with the Glock, again, the Sig sits up much higher in my hand. So, you know, it's going to cause a little bit, but that wouldn't deter me from buying a gun. You know, some people try to make that out to be a really big deal, but I don't think so. All three guns, grouping wise, actually did pretty good. Let's let Mrs. Headshot give it a go. Nice job. Well, what do you think?
I like it. I like the trigger. I don't like the grip.
Okay.
Just for me. It's pretty rough. But yeah, I like it. I like the trigger a lot.
You like the trigger? All right, cool.
The mags are pretty hard to release. Just that button's pretty hard to push, but...
Yeah, I guess they did an update on that, so we'll have to get our hands on a new one and check it out. But
yeah, I noticed that earlier.
interesting. So you're over to the right on that one again. You want to tell us what you thought? What you think?
I like it. I like the grip. It's still rough, but it's not as rough as all the other ones. Of course, you know, I hate those sights.
Okay. Trigger?
Trigger.
Recoil?
Right. Recoil's fine.
All right.
Yep.
What about the sights? I mean, obviously you see the red dot is on top of the front sight, but you can still see the front sight.
Right.
And your grouping is tight. It was just a little bit low, right?
Right.
Okay. What do you think about the trigger on that one?
I like this one out of all of them. I think it's smoother than all of them.
It also doesn't have the dingus in the middle of the trigger.
Right.
So
I like this one a lot better. I feel like it's more comfortable to shoot just because of the trigger. It's smooth. I like the sights a lot better. The grip, again, is fatter.
Right.
Wider, so it's harder for me to get a full grip, but I feel like...
You think it's wider than the Glock?
Yes, but I think it's more comfortable than the Glock.
Okay.
Just because, like for me, this one has that hump right here.
Right.
I just feel like it's more prominent than that one. I like this one a lot.
Alright, so on this next set of shots here, we're just going to do some quick transition shooting. Maybe hit our little spinner down there, and after this I'm just going to give you my final thoughts on each one. Let's go ahead and try it out here. CZ P10C. Nice. So one thing I do notice off the bat too, it's not that it really hurts, but you can tell that grip is aggressive, okay? And it works on a day like today when it's hot and everything on your entire body is sweating, including your hands. That's a good thing, okay? It keeps the gun locked into your hand. The trigger on this one, out of all three, to me is the best. And those sights, although they sit low, I really like them. It's really easy to pick up that front orange sight, although it's dim just a little bit. It's probably just dirty, but it's much easier to pick up than the other two. Really like this gun and really love the trigger. Again, like Mrs. Headshot said, that magazine release sucks. So let's go to the Glock. Glock 19 Gen 5. And by the way, I turned off the red dot on the Sig. So I should have did that from the very beginning, but it's off. Alright, so let's try the Glock here. Again, 10 rounds in each. Alright, took a few more shots to hit that little spinner down there, but not too bad at all. One thing I can say, I talk so much garbage about these sights because I think they are garbage, and after this many years, I think they should do something different. But then again, you know, whatever. I can still hit with the sight, so I can still hit with this gun consistently. It's not like I'm hitting the barn 40 yards in the opposite direction or anything. It's not that bad. The gun does really good, and the fell recoil in this one and the muzzle rise, I think is probably, it's very close to the CZ P10C. It's really hard to judge that kind of thing, but shooting them back to back, I'd say those two, if you're looking at a really flat shooting kind of gun, this one and the CZ P10C are definitely have less muzzle rise than the Sig P320 RX. Speaking of that, and we also have the TLR8 on the bottom of this one as well. This is a home defense gun for me now, so let's try this again. I keep forgetting my eyes, so apologize about that. Let me put my eyes back on here. Hey, there we go. I missed that last one. Man, when it comes to accuracy, and I just feel like I can hit anything, something about the Sig, man. I love this gun. It's got a great balance with the grip texturing as far as being rough enough where the gun doesn't slip or slide in your hand, but it also keeps the gun locked into your hand, which I really like. I like the fact this one doesn't have any kind of a dingus or anything like that. Just a really flat style. The face of it is flat. It's not a flat trigger, but definitely an awesome shooter. And if you're looking for a range or home defense gun, this one is kind of set up for it all right from the factory. So
I really like this one. I like the trigger a lot, but that grip, for me, it's all I can think about.
Alright, so we're going to shoot 5 shots from the winner right here, right now. The Sig P320. Glasses. So I know I get accused of getting paid by Sig, but the thing is I don't even get guns sent to us by Sig. I get that accusation quite a bit. Not from all you guys, just a few of you, but I like Sig. I like what they do. I think as far as, like Mrs. Headshot said, smoothness and the way the gun shoots and fits in your hand. The modularity, obviously, of the P320. It's had some issues too, but they've worked those things out. They've made some changes, and I'd say when it comes to a range gun, this one's set up for you to do anything. You got the optic, obviously. You got the high night sights. It's just an awesome gun at the range. CZ P10C is right below that, and then the Glock 19. For us, that's our opinion. Let me know which one you like better at the range down in the comments below. We'll see you in the next one, and as always, hold them down.